everybody, and welcome back to the New York Giants rebuild. Currently, we're sitting at 4-3, third place in the division. Cowboys are 7-1. I think they're the top team in the league, maybe. No, Browns 6-0, but they have the most wins in the league at 7-1. Browns 6-0-1. They're probably at a bye week this week or the coming week, the Cowboys. But there's a lot of good NFC teams, is what I've noticed. Saints, Rams, both 6-1. Eagles 5-2, Seahawks 5-2, Cardinals 5-3. So a lot of 5-win teams while we're sitting at 4. So right now, I believe we would be sitting outside of the playoff picture. Yeah, it looks like we would. There's a lot of teams above us. Even the Lions are 4-3, and they have a tiebreaker above us as well. But we just got to go on a little win streak, finish out this year. Hopefully, we can grind through this year in this episode. But we'll see how that goes. Before we get in the game with the Chargers, they, of course, the offensive coordinator wants to talk about Bosa. I say let's commit to slowing him down. I don't really like these scenarios where we have to do them anytime we face a good player, because I don't really understand what it really does for us once we do accomplish it. In this one, give up 2 or fewer sacks. Like, that's the goal, but what do we get for it? Just XP? Because that's not too fun at all. That's why I like Melvin Gordon also. That is why I like the player breakouts more, because something actually happens with them and we end up usually getting a development upgrade if it does happen, and it adds more suspense to it. And how did this game go versus the Chargers? Looks like a W for New York, 24-21. So another close game, and Daniel Jones had a good game. Jimmy Wade is their quarterback. I forgot about that for a minute. Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns, 212 yards, good completion percentage, sort of. Bryce Williams, he had a pass. Must have been a fake kick or something, but he completed it. That's good. Jimmy Wade didn't score or make a mistake, so he did okay. And rushing, Melvin Gordon, 10 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns, while Saquon had 88. And James White had 9. So Saquon's not getting as many carries as he was last year. 23 is pretty good, but the yards just aren't there this year. Kind of a slow year for him, but it probably is just a down year, and we kind of trying to have James White take the load off. So a lot of that should be taken into consideration. Sterling Shepard led the team in receptions and yards, and also had a touchdown with 90 yards. James White got a catch there. That's what we like. Rudy McCann, I know this guy was good coming out of the draft a few years back. Both had 1 sack. Anza and Tomlinson, they all had sacks on the day, and no interceptions by either of the quarterbacks. And kick return, I've never really seen much from kick return. Fisher right now is the #1 guy. 7.5 yard average return on punt returns. That's all right. Don't really expect a big breakout from him. Looks like John Ross is upset. He wants more catches. I can't really promise anything, but I guess we can say get him involved. I haven't seen really what the scene really is. Let's see what that is. Improved his spirits, plus 10 morale. So if he doesn't get 5 touches or 100 plus yards, he is probably going to lose a lot of morale, but he gets plus 10. So we'll see what the outcome is. I haven't tested that scenario yet, so we'll see how that goes. One of the top draft stories in the league is Eli Stark. He's all over the news bulletin, but he is 24. So it's tough to really want to draft him since he looks pretty solid. Even man coverage is a B-, and I'm guessing his zone's probably around B as well. So it's tough to want him, but we really need a free safety. So I might be able to look past the age on him. But like guys like this, Shaq Coates, right? He's a little more raw, but he's 21, so he has 3 more years to develop. And also in the first round, I would like to target one of these cornerbacks there. It looks to be a lot of good ones. Of course, Jermichael Hood. He's probably the best one. Or Bird. There's so many good ones, actually. It's hard to pick between these guys. All 3 of these ones, Ballard, Bird, and Hood, are all insane talents. It's just, I don't know how to determine which one's going to have the better development trait once we get that situated. So You know, there's those guys, and there's like third round guys like Kamani Dye, and there's late round guys that we haven't even looked into yet. So maybe we can start doing that now. C plus man covers that late. It's pretty good. Yeah, Deshaun Leggett, 5th round talent with 4th round talent, but 5th round projection. Anyone else? Jamison Hill, all C's, but 3rd round talent. I would like to see his scouting. I just add any player to the board that has good scouting. But the other guy who is also a big deal is this guy, Cameron Ballamy. I just wanted to see his top 3 because he's really hyped up right now in the news articles as well. A- catching, A- juke move, and B+ spin move, making him a early 1st round talent. That guy looks pretty good at 21 years old. Bryce Williams, the backup, has a upgrade point, 70 overall, and now a 71. It's a tough situation with him. He has pretty solid stats, 94 throw power, and 77, 83, and 79 for accuracies. Just his awareness is low, and the other like secondary attributes are a little low as well, like throw on the run, play action, under pressure, probably break, sack, and all those. Also his injuries, 88. But he's good. He might just be a backup forever though. I don't know. We'll try to give him some shots if we're up high in a game or something, just to see what he can do, as Daniel Jones only has a few more years, if that, on his contract. Now Jabril Peppers, obviously 87 overall now, strong safety, and he's up to a 87. So awareness is going up, tackle, block, shed. Tackle's now at 80 overall, and the speed's at 90. And of course, Dukes, the former defensive player of the year as a rookie, 22 years old, already 80 overall. Pretty impressive player, 81 now. If we can just get his development up one more and make it a superstar, he'll start having the X Factor abilities. And we need that on this defense. And on offense, Jose Marsh. Let's see, right tackle, 21 years old. We're just going to keep trying to get him on a scheme fit, 78 overall now. And his strength is just too good, and it goes up 1. So up to a 95. All greens already as a rookie. I'm really impressed with this pick. He ended up being a great player. And the kick returner, Harvey Davis, 94 speed, 91 acceleration, and 69 catching. We need his catching to go up. And right now he's a deep threat, so we're just going to stick with that, since that is a scheme fit. So hopefully your catching goes up, maybe. Nope, speed goes up instead, so you're 95 speed. That is crazy. I kind of want to get him on the field just to see what he can do in the slot. Like, on deep routes and stuff, he should be able to burn his man real easy. 95, 91. Just his route running is not that good. Deep route running is 73, so he could be a deep threat for sure. And that's all for week 9, but week 10 we have the Saints matchup, which we are going to go ahead and sim. I want to catch a game maybe later, but for now we're trying to get through this season, and it looks like we might have actually won this game versus the Saints. And we did, same score as we had with the Chargers, 24-21. So we're coming up clutch here. Daniel Jones, 2-1, 1 interception, and same thing with Brissett, who just had less yards at 169. Bryce Williams attempted another pass, I think. Yep, he did not complete it. Doesn't really matter, but still notable. Saquon with 115 yards and a touchdown on 17 attempts. Kamara had 84 on 17. Daniel Jones, James White, and Perry Whitfield also had one rush. Ross, he had a touchdown, but he didn't have 5 touches. So I don't know if he's going to be pissed off again or not, but we'll check the frustrated receiver report after this one. He still scored a touchdown though, so I don't know how he's that mad. Beal even got a catch this game. Marsh allowed another sack. Don't really know what's up with him, but just going to assume it's just a tough few games. I mean, considering he's been having to go against Cameron Jordan and Joey Bosa, I guess it's not the end of the world that he's allowed a sack in the past few games, but still, I'd like to see him compete with the best in the league before. Looks like John Ross is actually happy, so maybe that touchdown helped. You see me racking up the points out there and all that. Thanks for giving me a shot this week. I appreciate it. So does that go up even more? XP and morale goes up as well. So everything went up. So that ended up being a 15 plus morale boost for him just for getting that touchdown. But he didn't have 5 touches, so I'm kind of confused. Or 100 yards. Maybe he ran the ball 3 times, which I doubt. There's a Thursday night game this week, which means we are on a short week. I'm thinking preparation is the play here. Let's see what that gives us. I know rest gives you injury plus, but this one probably gives XP, I'm guessing. Morale goes down. XP goes up. Only 100 though. I don't know if that's worth it. So we already watched one game versus the Eagles, and we won that game pretty easily. That's why we have the tiebreaker over them, which doesn't really matter anymore since we did win last week. So we're 6-3. Cowboys 8-1. So we might not catch them, but it's looking like we're edging towards a playoff position. Looks like we went down in a close one. Philadelphia beat us by 3. Looks like everything was pretty even here, but they came out with the win, and we had more time of possession as well. I don't know what happened here. Once 2-1. Daniel Jones only had 1 touchdown, but no picks on the day and was sacked 4 times. Saquon for 85. We had more rushing yards than them. I don't know why Daniel Jones is rushing it 13 times. That is questionable, but okay. Maybe we need to get a scrambling quarterback. I didn't know about that until now. Saquon also had 60 in the air. And no one else really. Ross, 35. That's our leading receiver. It's like Nix had 2 sacks. He's a rookie. He's out of Oregon. I don't remember him. He might have been one of those first round left ends. I know this last year was stacked in the rookie class here. Dukes had a sack and a half, and Lorenzo Carter had a half sack as well. Where did the interception go? Sidney Jones, who also had 13 tackles on the day. So let's look at an updated standings check. It looks like we are back to where we were since we lost this game. That could have boosted us all the way up here, but unfortunately we lost it. So we're 1-1 with the Eagles. We got to go on a little win streak here if we want to make the playoffs. And this next game is versus the Falcons, who are 5-5. Also, Jones is NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He had 13 tackles, 1 interception, and he was our only interception, but he won the award with that. And now I think that is our 2nd award of the year. I don't know. I believe we had one earlier. Maybe not. I guess that might have been our first one of the year from either side of the ball, and it's going to go to Jones. So the Falcons, they beat us by 3. Looks very familiar to last game. Had a lot of the same score type games. Daniel Jones almost had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and wasn't sacked. So I don't know what really went wrong. It looks like we lost a lot of time of possession since Saquon only had 12 carries. And Devontae Freeman had 19 for 91. That could be a big reason why. Ross, Shepard, they both played good. Over 70 yards a pop for each of them, and a touchdown for each of them as well. Evan Engram had 52, and Dorsett had 35. So I don't know what really went wrong this game. So that really sucks. That really brings us back quite a few slots in this NFC race. We should be, yeah, we are way down now. 18th in the league. Plus 2 new injuries. And it's Saquon who's out for the year, and James White out for the year. Well, this season just got a whole lot more interesting now. So I'm going to hire a few guys now, and Scott Miller being one of them. He's a wide receiver, but look at these stats. 96 speed, 93 acceleration, 83 catching. I think he might actually be decent out of the backfield. And look, his ball carry vision is not bad. Everything's not really bad. He can't really truck at all, but juke move's not bad either. Maybe he could be the James White to our offense. And Marcus Connor, who is on the Ravens practice squad right now. 90 speed, 90 acceleration, and he'll be the 3rd back, but we just got to fill the hole. I'd rather do it with a rookie. So after that blow, here's the depth chart. Whitfield, Connor, and Scott Miller. We're changing to running back. I'm also going to put him at a weird number. This is just a trial, and I want to be able to note him on the field. But, I mean, looks pretty standard of a player. I like his sleeve, actually. But I want to see what he can do on the football field. He's a little guy, 5'9", 170 or something like that, but we're going to save the changes, see what his rating is as a running back. So he's a 71 overall as a running back. I got to move him down a spot, but I think Whitfield is probably the better option as a actual running back. His ball carrier tangibles are a little bit better. So Beal, the fullback, is going to get all the power running back rushes, since he's the highest overall by far at 52 overall. So I'm interested to see how this goes, really, but it's kind of different. We could still make the playoffs, of course, but Daniel Jones is going to have to step up, and we know that. And it's going to start versus Carolina, which we're going to actually end up hopping into this game, since this has become a really huge game in the season. So here we are in what's become one of the most important games of the season. This could probably determine it all, versus Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. And they're going to get the ball first, and we're going to go ahead and watch it just to see what our defense is up to this part of the year. Looks like only Volk on the field right now. I don't know where Medlock is. He doesn't get as much snaps, and I wish I could get him more. But maybe once Onzo's gone, I'll try to work harder on that next year. But I want to see him develop a little bit better. And that's a good first play by Dexter Lawrence II, getting him in the backfield. They lose 3 on that first down. So they'll have a 2nd and 13. Something about this game looks really good today. I don't know what it is. Guess it's been a minute since I watched it, but Madden 20 is impressive. And Christian McCaffrey's hurt. He is down after gaining 2 yards, and they're out without him. I don't know who the backup is. We're about to see a little bit of him. Hopefully the whole game, maybe. Preferably Cam Newton airing out. And it's incomplete. Almost intercepted. They kind of had to play defense there, as we were in really good position. And we're going to get the ball back. 4th and 11. Daniel Jones is in the backfield, hopefully trying to carry this team to a win, as you don't have Saquon to rely on anymore. But Whitfield, he gets 10 on his first rush. He's only 62 overall, but his speed is there. Everything is really there for him. He needs to develop a little bit more, and that's why I trusted him as being the second back before we ended up signing James White, of course. And this is a complete pass for 3 yards to Sterling Shepard, who did play a good game last week. Him and John Ross both eclipsed 70 yards on the day and had a touchdown, but we still lost the game. And here he is, losing a few. There's Seth Murphy. We just changed him to a running back, and his first catch didn't go very far, but he's still in for 3rd down. We'll see what he can do in the backfield. And I mean, he's a 71 overall in the backfield. It looks like he might get the ball again here. He is, but he's originally a wide receiver that looks like a face mask. So his catching is a little bit better than all the running backs that we've seen. So 15-yard penalty. That was a face mask indeed. And Seth Murphy is still on the field, and that one is to Philip Dorsett. Whitfield looks like he's back in. It's either that or it's the fullback. Who's that? Is that a lineman? Why? Vernon Hutton just got a catch. He's on the depth chart. And oh my goodness, he just got destroyed. It's Seth Miller, not Seth Murphy. But that's irrelevant. Vernon Hutton just got a catch. I don't know how he ended up on the lineup in the depth chart at tight end, but I guess he did. And here's Miller again. He's catching him, but he doesn't really get much after the play, and we're going to have to kick a field goal. So Vernon Hutton, we did only have 2 tight ends to start the year, but I thought, Jerome Beal would just be that 3rd guy if we ever needed it. But Vernon Hutton's a 73 overall tight end, 22, and we don't really need him at left tackle, so we might be starting a transition here. His catching might actually be okay. His blocking, we know that is good. At least for a tight end, it would be super good. It would be elite. He's a little big, 6'5", 310, compared to these other guys. But maybe he could lose some weight, and 64 catching isn't all too bad. He still caught the ball. His carrying's probably terrible, and route running's just horrible. But as a tight end 3, That might actually be a good play because we'll have 3 linemen out in the big sets because he's still a lineman, but maybe we can transition him to a tight end, or maybe this is just a 1-year thing. But that's interesting. I didn't know he ended up on the depth chart. I still thought Jerome Beal was there. So here are the Panthers. Curtis Samuel getting the first down grab, and DJ Moore with the third down grab. So they'll have a first down up to around the 50-yard line, where they'll have a 3rd and 5, and they get 6 to Curtis Samuel. Now past midfield, DJ Moore for 22 up to the 24 of the New York Giants part of the field, and another 3rd down, and it's dropped. So they're going to go ahead and tie this game up. Rich Kirkland is their kicker. Looks like he was drafted, since his face is a little animated. But here's Daniel Jones. Scott Miller for 3, 3rd and 7, and it's incomplete. So Panthers, you can have it right back. Let's see what they can do. First quarter is winding down, and they have another 3rd down and get sacked. Anza is there for the sack, and that looks like a 1-yard punt. So it'll be at the 1-yard line. This should be interesting with backup running backs and all. We're going to see what we can do here. Looks like it's going to be running. That's a safety. I don't like that play call. Whitfield gets taken down, and they get 2 points. So 3-5 in this lovely soccer game. Go Panthers. You just got a freebie. See what you can do with it. You get a free possession and 2 points, of course. And they get a 3rd and 10. They get it. Ian Thomas is there. Freddie Groves for 4. Scarlett's the running back right now, as McCaffrey still hasn't come back in, and it's the 2nd quarter, and Rich Kirkland made a 50-yard field goal, so they're up 8-3 now, and hopefully we can get stuff done. Scott Miller has like 6 catches on the day, and that one's finally positive. He hasn't had many positive ones so far. Evan Ingram 8. They're over the 50-yard line now, up to the 26 after that grab. Perry Whitfield for 4. John Ross for 5, and a 3rd down. Whitfield gets it. His averages aren't the best, but he can break free. Whitfield 1st and goal. Evan Ingram touchdown. We take the lead here, 10-8, with 5 minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter, where Panthers have another shot at the ball without McCaffrey. Now goes for 4 and 25. Big chunk there. They're past midfield. 23-yard line now. 20-yard line now. 2nd and 6. It's thrown away. So 3rd down. 20-yard touchdown. Freddie Groves. We've been seeing Freddie Groves on their side quite frequently. John Ross, 25 yards. Big chunk there, but I want to check out his stats and stuff. He was drafted in this series, and looks like he's an impact player. And we get a penalty on 3rd down. So 3rd and 14 thrown away. This is going to be a long field goal. But Jake Elliott is good. We're down 2 once again, and that might be how we end up into halftime if nothing big happens here. 3rd and 6, 11 yards. They have timeouts, so they can do something still. 15 seconds, though. 8 seconds now, no timeouts. And they just run it into the 3rd quarter, where the Giants will get the ball first. Let's watch this one. Start of the 2nd half. See what we can do here. Looks like Whitfield's still the main back, and he gets walloped. 8 rushes, 24 yards so far, so a 3-yard average. Not the worst, but definitely not that good. We need to get more stretch runs, if I could say so myself, with a running back like him. And there is one right there, but Kuechly is there as well. But he still goes positive, 2 yards to bring it a 3rd and 9, where Seth Miller is now in the game. He's a real receiving threat, and it's going to be a screen. Seth Miller, Kuechly, he's just destroying everything we do. But that's how many catches does he have? 5, but only 3 yards. Not going very far with these catches at all. So Christian McCaffrey's back in the game now. Must have not been too serious since he's back and destroying us on those first 3 runs, getting a first down. 9 yards now, 3rd and 1. Freddie Groves for 19 more. He's having a big game against us. Freddie Groves. Christian McCaffrey all day running on us now. 5 yards per carry, basically, it feels like. 1st and goal. McCaffrey touchdown, making up for the time lost. We are now down a good chunk here. 9 points starting of the third quarter. We're really looking weak out here without Barkley. Kind of unfortunate. And we get the first down, though. So we're past midfield. Just got to get points here. 3rd and 7. It's thrown away. You're going to have to punt that ball. And that's a 58-yard punt, but a touchback. So got to stop them. And they do just that. So 4th and 1. Punt it away to Sterling Shepard for 26 yards. Ingram for 12. Back to the 30-yard line. Back in business. 15 yards, John Ross. And Sterling Shepard for 8. We are in the goal line area. 1st and goal. Evan Ingram, 2-yard touchdown. Let's get this extra point and only be down 2. Back to a 2-point game. Let's go. Let's go play defense. Let's play some defense. Kareem Jackson knocked that one away. 8-yard run by Christian McCaffrey. Interception, Jabril Peppers. That is how you play defense, Jabril. It's a big game, but we are at the 11-yard line now. That was a big play by Jabril Peppers. I'm glad he made it. And Miller's here now, getting a few yards. 3 yards. Looks like he stumbled. Could have been a big gain there if he was able to break it, but unfortunately not. He has great speed. I see bursts of it, but he just can't break any tackles, unfortunately. John Ross is going to get an outside handoff, and he gets almost there. 2-yard line. That was a 5-yard rush. He had some daylight, but now a 3rd and 1 with Miller in. We'll see what he can do. It's going to be a run, and that's going to be easy touchdown. He dives in for it, but that's his first touchdown as a running back. I don't know if he had any touchdowns before that, but he was just a free agent, so probably not. So that might be his first touchdown ever, and it is running. So that game changed quite a lot with that interception by Jabril Peppers and a 15-yard penalty. That does not help us very much. As long as we keep him out of the end zone, we should be able to be pretty safe. Unfortunately, our running game isn't that good, and they have a 1st and goal, but we got to get a goal line stand. Come on. 3rd and goal. And it's thrown away. They're going to have to kick a field goal. No, they went for it and got it. So we have a big drive. Daniel Jones. We are only down 1 point as they failed the 2-point conversion. But this is a big drive with 5 minutes to go in the game. All eyes are on you, Daniel Jones. Let's see what you can do. See what these young running backs can do as well to help you out a little bit. Miller looks like the lead guy right now. He's going to go out for a pass, but it doesn't go to him. It instead goes the other part of the field, and it's knocked down. Thankfully, that cornerback was in good position. Glad he went for the knockdown and not the interception. And here we are at a 2nd down, and he's going to go down. That's going to be a sack. Gerald McCoy is there alongside Quan Short. So a 3rd and 18, 4:40 left to go. So not the end of the world if we don't score here, but this is tough if we don't. Our defense is going to be put in a tough situation. We can't take another sack here, man. Daniel Jones take another sack. To the 9. It's going to be a 4th and 27. We need a good punt. And we get a pretty good punt. All the way to 25. There's McCaffrey calls for a fair catch. Can we stop them? We should go ahead and watch this. 5 yards on the 1st down. Christian McCaffrey. But we got to see what our defense can do. We have 2 linebackers that are very capable of catching McCaffrey. Just got to see if they can pull through. And that time they do. There they are, stopping them. 3rd and 3. That time wasn't Dukes. So a 3rd down. 2 minutes to go in this game. Empty set. He's wide open, and he's going. He is going the distance. He is going to score. That looked like a little out route, and it ended up going 70 yards for a touchdown. Who was that? It was Thomas who went that far. I don't know how he broke that on poor Jackson there. J.C. Jackson got burnt and just couldn't catch him. Nor could our safeties. So we're down 8. We need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this game up. We have 2 minutes to go. And that one is complete to Sterling Shepard. You got to go no huddle here. And it only makes sense if you do. Don't know why you have a running back in the backfield right now. And don't know why you're taking so many sacks, Daniel Jones. You got to get rid of the ball. And we're going to have to use our first timeout. Daniel Jones has played pretty poorly today. Stats don't show it, but not being able to get rid of the ball is a big deal. He's having time a lot of these plays, and that's very poor ball carrier vision by Seth Murphy. Miller. 4th and 13. Game on the line here. And that one's going to go deep, and it is nearly intercepted, and that one falls to the ground, where we most likely are going to be losing this game by 8. They need the ball down, and they take the victory, and we'll be going to 500 on the season after that one. We fall to 6-6, where we have a few tough games coming up, where we do need to win them if we want a chance at the playoffs. Starting with the Rams, then going to Kansas, Redskins, then Green Bay. We have a breakout player opportunity, Perry Whitfield. This is interesting that he's getting a breakout opportunity, but he just needs 2 touchdowns or 100 plus yards rushing and receiving on the day. Don't know if that's possible versus the Rams, but we're about to find out. So week 14, this is a big game. We'll see what happens in this one. That's a disappointing loss. LA took us down 28-24. Another close game though. Goff had 4 touchdowns. That is a good game by him. Not too many yards, but 4 touchdowns. That'll get it done. And Daniel Jones, 312, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Once again, doesn't look bad statistically, but still not the best there. And Whitfield had 54. Let's see what he had catching. If he had a touchdown catching, he did indeed break out, but I don't think he did. It doesn't look like he did at all. But who did is Scott Miller. 5 receptions, 59 yards. We had no sacks once again, but they had 2, and we had no interceptions. That was the difference that game, and here is a breakout player, and it's going to be a failure, it looks like. But, yep, so that's just a failure. So, the 8-5 Kansas City Chiefs will be headed to New York, but this game is really big. If we lose it, we might mathematically be eliminated here, but if we win it, we are still in it. And this one versus the Chiefs, week 15, is a loss. That one might end our season, unfortunately. We held Mahomes in check pretty good. Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Arthur Bryce is a running back out there in KC now. He did pretty good, 102 yards and a touchdown. And Whitfield only had 8 rushes, and Miller had 6. Ross had 81 yards. Sterling Shepard had 42. They both had touchdowns. And Miller had an okay day receiving as well. So the 3-10 Redskins, we beat them earlier in the year. We'll see if we can beat them again. They were 3-10, and we lost 7-24 on the day. Daniel Jones had 130 yards and a interception, and Haskins only had 106 yards. And it looks like they destroyed this game with rushing. Nothing really bright on this team here. Evan Ingram had a lot of yards, but nothing really else. Looks like only sacks given up by us. We did have 1 sack though, and they had an interception. So no really good outtakes from that game. Nothing really good happened there. A few tackles, I guess, but punting, that is the name of the game here. He had 5 punts, 275 yards. That is just too many punts, and that will bring us to 6-9, and we will basically be out of it at this point. See if we can spoil the Packers though, and it looks like they are 8-7. So yeah, if they lose, they really lose all hope here. But if they win, they might win their division if the Lions indeed lose. Here are the league standings. I want to go to the worst teams. 49ers, Steelers, Dolphins, Broncos, Redskins, Vikings, Raiders, Bengals, and Giants. So what pick would we be? 9th overall right now if the season ended right now. But we still have another game to play. We're not going to purposely lose it, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if we did. So a disappointing year in the making here. And we're going to have a top 10 pick most likely. which also means we got to start looking earlier on the board. And there's a lot of cornerbacks to look at here. Bird being one of them, and of course Jermichael Hood being the other. It's also Roy Ballard, who's a little bit later, but he might be just as good as the other two. We got to really just see the combine ratings between these players. But these players all look really, really solid here. So hopefully no one minds that this episode's going to be a little longer. But we have some things to test out. And here it is. Bryce Williams will be the starter for Week 17. The season's over, and we got to see what we have at quarterback here at backup. Bryce Williams. Really over Daniel Jones after this year. He's played terribly. I doubt he's even eclipsed 2,500 yards, and it's just not looking good. Defensively, haven't been looking that good either with turnovers, which is a surprise as his defense looks really stout. So here it is, Green Bay. Let's see if we can spoil them. Bryce Williams will be our starting quarterback today. It's going to be a long episode because of this, but I just want to see what he can do. We're only going to watch offense as this season's already basically over. So we'll just see what the Packers can do here. It looks like a 2nd and 24, 3rd and 21. They get 11, so it should be a field goal. And yes, it is. Randy Bullock is their kicker nowadays, and he kicks that one in. This is exciting. Number 12 on the field here, Bryce Williams. Huge cannon arm type player. Doesn't get a real running game today, but we'll see what his arm can do, and that's a good start. That one is Ross. And I know I should probably change Ross's number going into next season, as that was Phil Simms' number, and I'm pretty sure he definitely got that one retired, as he was a pretty big name here in New York. And there he goes, Whitfield for 13. Good burst there. Good burst of speed. He just doesn't have too much power. If he had a little bit more power, he would be a really solid running back, but he just doesn't have that power yet. But we'll see if we can develop that up. Bryce Williams, his normal development rate, but I need to see him break out. That pass was a little off the mark, but still looked like a catchable ball, but was a little low. We'll see what we can do off of that one, where I'm still concerned about our rushing game without Saquon. Unfortunately, they both got injured. I mean, if James White didn't get injured too, our whole season might be a little different, but with them both getting injured, that really hurt us. 13 and 10 weeks. That's just too much where they're both just out, and it's hard to overcome something like that when they are a big part of your team like they are. And that's a deep pass, and that one's almost intercepted. Not a good decision there by Bryce Williams. Good secondary they're facing though here, Bryce Williams. They indeed have a good secondary, and that's an interception, and it'll be at the 1. So we'll see. 1st and goal, thrown away. 2nd and goal, Scott Miller for a touchdown. He gets, that should be maybe his 2nd on the year. We've only had him for a few games, but 2nd on the year, that's not too shabby. And we are headed to the end of the 1st quarter, where it's 7-3. Currently, if we keep up this pace, we will spoil the Green Bay Packers here. And 10-yard penalty, that's not good. 2nd quarter is now starting. 11 yards for John Ross, making up for those penalty yards. But we still have to punt the ball back. Sammy Volk gets a sack. He's been having an okay season. Not too many sacks. I'd like more. But there's always next year, Sammy Volk. Same thing with Medlock. I need to see one of them break out, which I haven't really seen yet. They get a field goal. So 7-6. Let's go ahead and watch Bryce Williams here. I really got to get a feel for him. See what he's all about. Don't know if this is his type of offense. He might be better not under center, but we'll see. Whitfield gets 4 on that one. Bringing it to the 29. 4 rushes, 17 yards. Okay day so far. And we need to see Bryce Williams pass it. Come on. You got to let him go pass it. Whitfield, though, that is a good run. That is a really good run. Now up to 29 yards. That was Bryce Williams, now not under center. He's shotgun, but still going to pass the ball off to Miller. He busts open for 15 yards on that one. So he has 16 yards and a touchdown. And there he goes. I need to see him pass the ball, though. Can we stop running? I know we're doing it pretty good, but we have good receivers and everything. I need to see what he can do. And it looks like Ross is coming in, motioning in, and it's going to be a pass finally. And it's going to be a deep pass, and it is well off the mark. Bryce Williams is 2 of 7 for 27 yards. Not looking good so far in this game. That is a wide open receiver that he missed. And here's John Ross now going negative yards. So 3rd and 13. You got to pass the ball downfield if you want a chance here. And right now it's not looking good for you. Bryce Williams. He was a 2nd round pick. That short accuracy is good, it looks like. That's been all of his passes, though, that have been completed. Can't win a game passing short. Also can't win a game attempting 60-yard field goals, but that's none of my business. Maybe it's... shouldn't be my business, as he almost made that. But he did not. So, they don't get anything either, but they decided to punt it instead of kicking a long field goal. And let's just see what Bryce Williams can do without us watching him. He goes with Scott Miller on that pass. I've been impressed with Scott Miller. 3rd and 18. 22-yard pass. Sterling Shepard. I've liked what I've seen with the Super Sim, at least. Getting sacked now, though. Again. Maybe he's just not throwing the ball away or something. Don't kick a field goal, please. Thank you. It's a punt. 2nd quarter is coming to an end. It's dwindling down. But that is an interception and a touchdown on the next play to Philip Dorsett. Bryce Williams gets his first ever touchdown pass in the NFL, and it goes to Philip Dorsett off of an interception. We now have the 3rd quarter. So our Super Sim kind of just simmed our whole entire drive, but nothing really much happened. 21-6. We're still up. Aaron Rodgers has 2 interceptions and 100 and so yards, but not anything more than that. 3rd and 5, 15 yards. I don't know what else is really happening here. 1st and 2 now. 3rd and 7. I don't know what's happening with the Super Sim. It's going crazy. Come on, Madden. Quit doing me like that. When Bryce Williams gets the ball again, we get to somewhat watch him this time. I want to see him Super Sim. He's doing a little bit better at that. Scott Miller. Scott Miller again. I like what I've seen from Scott Miller. Not going to lie. He doesn't really break much tackles, but he might be good behind Saquon. And just a receiving back. I would like to see him maybe take that role next year. Whitfield definitely has lost it. He's a better runner, but as a backup running back, I feel like you want a better pass-catching running back. And that's really where I'm standing right now, as we're up 11 versus the Green Bay Packers. 4th quarter is winding down, and so is our season. And so is this long episode. But we're going to have the off-season next episode, so that should be exciting. Really was expecting some playoffs, but not this year. 4 minutes to go. 3rd down. They get a touchdown. This game's a little bit more interesting now. Only down 3. 14 yards, Bryce Williams on the first play. Evan Ingram. We can score right here. That basically finalizes his game. But a 3rd down? Yes, we do. Sterling Shepard. Evan Ingram, 13. There you go, Bryce Williams. Finish out this game strong. Show us that you are worth something. Scott Miller for 8. Dorsett for 3. We're going to kick a field goal. 1:30 to go. If this doesn't get interesting, I'm not going to hop in. And it doesn't look too interesting here. 4th and 10. They get 19. 30 seconds to go. No timeouts. But that's a field goal. They're in field goal range. That is what we are saying here. 6-point lead we have here. And it's going to be a draw? Why? 15 seconds to go now, though. I don't understand, Madden. Why are you doing that if you're going to have a 12-second runoff after that? Okay, pass out of bounds. It's going to be Hail Mary time. And we all know what Aaron Rodgers can do with a Hail Mary. But I still am really disappointed in that draw call. Maybe we get a sack here? Medlock busting open. It's going to be a Hail Mary. Are you kidding me? Did he catch that? He caught it. It was out of bounds, though. Oh, my goodness. 1 second to go. They have another opportunity at it. No. This is so scary. I can't believe he just caught that. It was out of bounds. Can we please stop them? Get a sack or something. Gotta get something. So it's not even to the end zone, and it's intercepted. That's his third of the day. And Baker's going to take it out, too. He might actually have a return. No, he does not. Why is Madden like this? Let's just to end this season, we're just going to show off Madden's flaws here. And here's one of them. We're sitting here at the end where they won't snap the ball. It's 0 seconds left, so they shouldn't have to snap the ball. I can keep calling timeouts, but that doesn't do anything. The only way to solve this is by quitting the game, and it kills all the stats. So I gave us the win after Madden failed me. And where are we going to be drafting? Looks like we fell a few positions, but I'd rather get a win than tank. Looks like we're still 9th, actually. So we'll have the 9th pick in the draft. And 10 will be the Titans. So we have 9th pick in the first round. That is a big deal. But that'll do it for our season. We're not going to do anything more here. We'll take a look at the end season stats, which aren't going to be impressive at all. In the next one, and we'll go through the rest of this, because this episode is running crazily long. Approaching probably an hour at this point. I don't know what it's going to edit down to, but probably about an hour. Since we had to watch those 2 games, I just wanted to see what Bryce Williams could do. Wasn't too impressed, so Daniel Jones looks like he's going to be remaining the quarterback, unless if we do something crazy coming next year.